the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 9:54 a.m., January 19, 2025. You know what I'm saying? This is the first video of the day. You know what I mean? And I was gonna, I'm not even gonna cook yet. Like, cause I gotta talk about this. This shit had me on the fucking floor this morning, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what I hate is bullshitters and liars. And, this article that, I seen a Twitter post that Brian Alvarez put out for, oh shit, I thought that was Roxy from 106 and Park. I'm like turning to Channel 11 here in New York City. I see a lady who looked exactly like Roxy from 106 and Park. So Brian Alvarez, right? Actually, this is Meltzer. This is Dave Meltzer who's basically saying what I'm about to say. Because his wording, y'all know Dave Meltzer's wording. Like, his wording is just, the motherfucker's grammar is basically all over the place, right? So, he was talking about the situation with Trey Miguel and AEW. For those that don't know, Trey Miguel he was released. He was actually released yesterday on his AEW deal, right? A day after the Rascals debuted on Collision, right? And noticeably, he was not there. People started asking questions on, well, why Trey Miguel isn't there? What's going on with Trey Miguel? Why he's not there? Why the fuck he's not on Collision and such, right? So yesterday, right, Trey Miguel put out a statement saying that he was going to take a break from pro wrestling, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, my first thought was, I'm going to get to what Meltzer said, but my first thought was, wait a minute. Wait. Why is he taking a break if he just signed the deal with the company? And he promoted the Rascals in their debut, just said coming soon, and everything else. Why would he do that? Right? If he just signed. Then today, right, came a report that basically, I knew there was something fishy. I knew it because, again, how the fuck you just gonna, be released out of nowhere? You sign, you're like, let me take a break. I'm gonna take a break from pro wrestling, right? Let me read to you it says Brian Alvarez, but this is Dave Meltzer's words. This is what was said, okay, about Trey Miguel's release. No one's really saying much. Well, some people are saying things, but my understanding is whatever it is, it came from up above. I know there are a lot of rumors, but it had nothing to do with anyone from AEW, anything like that, Tony Khan. Something happened from the way up, and he was released. That's what we know at this point about Trey Miguel. Bullshit! It definitely had a lot to do with Tony Khan. Hey, let me ask you a question. Who's above Tony Khan? Who? Because it said, it has something to do with someone from the higher up. That wasn't Tony Khan. Who's above Tony Khan in AEW? Who's above Tony Khan? Who? Bryan Danielson? Bryan Danielson doesn't have authority to fire anybody. It said, above Tony Khan. Bryan Danielson is not above Tony Khan, right? Some people are going to say WBD. WBD has they have no say or word into who Tony Khan can bring in and who he can't bring in into the fucking company, right? Shit, they don't even know who the fuck Trey Miguel is. They don't know who he is. You know what I mean? Like, come on, B. Like, and I know someone's also going to say, the Briscoes. Well, remember when Warner Bros. Discovery didn't want to bring the Briscoes in? What the fuck did Tony Khan do, with the Briscoes? He didn't want to let them go. So, and he couldn't bring them on AEW television for a while, right? Because of the quote-unquote, Warner Bros. Discovery ban. So what does he do? He keeps them in Ring of Honor, right? He had both of them in Ring of Honor. Of course, you see, it's kind of funny how you see Mark Briscoe, but when Jay Briscoe was alive, God rest his soul, like, they didn't bring him in or anything else. But that's another story for another day. They wound up putting the Briscoes in Ring of Honor. So if this is the case, and if WBD was so against the idea of bringing Trey Miguel in for the Rascals, why the fuck didn't they just put him in Ring of Honor? Huh? I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you the real reason on why Trey Miguel left AEW, why he asked for his release. Okay. I'm sure that him and Tony Khan probably had some creative issues. They probably butted heads, on how he wanted to see the Rascals and how Tony Khan saw the Rascals, right? There probably was, a button of heads in creative, right? Because Trey Miguel is he's the real spokesperson for the Rascals, right? Let's keep it a stack, okay? And then, he probably, Trey Miguel was probably outspoken about the direction, saying like, yo, this shit sucks. Whatever you got for me and the Rascals suck and such. And again, he probably had a butting of the heads and everything, right? He probably was like, fuck this and everything else, and then probably he knew that they probably were not going to go, far into the card. He probably was like, you know what, if you guys want to go there, if you guys want to stay here, I respect your decision and such, but I'm not going to deal with someone like Tony Khan who basically doesn't see the group for what we really are, right? He sees us as weed smokers and such. Because mind you, in Collision, they came out to, I don't know if that's their gimmick, but they if you notice in Collision, when the girl knocked on the Rascal's door, like the door opened and then you see like a lot of smoke and shit. But again, Trey Miguel probably saw that there was not going to be anything, fulfilling for him personally in his career. And then working with someone like Tony Khan, who I'm pretty sure butted heads. They butted heads. Because again, why the fuck, did he just get released? Someone from WBD? No, I don't buy that. I do not buy that one fucking bit. In a little bit, I'm gonna go cook fish. I gotta cook some fish in a bit. I just wanted to make this video out quick. Right now, I'm watching Judge Ross. And for those that are wondering, like, oh, Tag, why you making a video early in the morning? He's supposed to be at work. It's Martin Luther King's birthday. You know what I mean? But again, if this is the case, then shout out to Trey Miguel. Shout out to Trey Miguel because he knew that he doesn't want to be in an environment like this. He knew it. You know what would be the funniest thing though? If WWE scoops on it and then signs Trey Miguel. That would be the funniest shit. That would be the most hilarious shit, period. Hands down. Like I said, I don't buy anything at all of, Trey Miguel wanting to take a break because of his mental health and stuff. No. Maybe that could be a quarter of it, but I think there was creative issues or something happened between him and Tony Khan where they butted heads and such that caused Trey Miguel to say, you know what, fuck you and fuck this company. Plain and simple. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I'm going to definitely holler at y'all later tonight or later today. You know what I'm saying? I got some more video. I'm going to have some more videos on the way. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.